Good, happy Saturday morning, November 17, 2018. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we begin with a check of your weather with meteorologist Josh Judge. Great Saturday on tap, he is telling us. Let's take a listen to the video.
Dr. Robert Marshall and the team at Aesthetic Dental Center have been changing people's lives since 1979. I came to Aesthetic Dental Center because...
Good Saturday, I'm meteorologist Josh Judge. You ready for a look at what's going on this weekend? Overall, not too bad as we take a look at the storm system that pulled away on Friday and things clearing out for the weekend. A pretty nice Saturday on the way, but there is a little bit of more snow in our future as well. Taking a look at Futurecast here as we go through the day. A good amount of sunshine and some clouds at times, so we'll call it partly to mostly sunny. But in the mountains, as you see there could be some flurries, particularly in and around the mountains themselves. Otherwise, it's clear to partly cloudy right through tonight, and a chilly one tonight. Cooler air moving in for Sunday, but Sunday starting off with sun. But look here, some clouds on the increase, and look what comes along with them. Tomorrow evening, Sunday evening, and into early hours of Monday morning, some light snow will break out. It's even possible there could be a coating to an inch or two in some spots by early Monday morning. But Monday, that's pulling away, and skies are clearing back out. So for this afternoon, it's almost going to feel balmy compared to where it's been. Temperatures topping off in the 40s in central and southern New Hampshire, and the mid to upper 30s in the northern part of the state. Look at the temperatures regionally around the region here. Mid to upper 40s southeast, low to mid 40s in southwestern New Hampshire, central parts of the state, lower parts of the 40s. But as you head into the White Mountains and beyond, as you see there, 30s on tap for today. And then tonight, a seasonably chilly one, teens north, 20s everywhere else. And for Sunday, not as mild as Saturday, partially due to the fact that the clouds will be thickening up in the afternoon. And again, that chance of snow Sunday evening. For the upcoming week ahead, it gets colder as a Arctic cold front moves through on Wednesday. That brings snow showers to the mountains and some wind, and that means just in time for Thanksgiving Thursday. It's looking windy and cold, but it does look sunny at this point. That's a look at your forecast. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me.
Okay, and that is a look at the weather forecast from meteorologist Josh Judge. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. And also, there are 2 closings and delays to report this morning. If you want to see that list, you can just go to WMUR.com and click on Closings. Death of husband, wife in Hooksett ruled a murder-suicide. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Dr. Robert Marshall and the team at Aesthetic Dental Center have been changing people's lives since 1970.
The 2 who died in this home on Post Road in Hooksett were 58-year-old Donald McLaughlin and 68-year-old Diane McLaughlin.
The cause of death for both individuals was a gunshot wound to the head.
Investigators believe Donald shot and killed his wife, then turned the gun on himself.
The why is kind of the big question.
The gruesome discovery was made Thursday afternoon by someone connected to the selling of their house. Authorities say the McLaughlins were moving out of state and were about to close on the sale in Hooksett. They had been there for almost 14 years and were the only ones living in the home.
And nobody's given us any sort of indication that this was something that they foresaw as a possibility.
The Attorney General's office is looking for an explanation
As to what other sort of stresses were going on in their lives and how that affected their judgment. That's something at this point we hope we might get an answer to, but we have to accept the reality of we might not.
There is one clue. Police found a will in the room where their bodies were, but they don't know if it was written by Donald or Diane, and investigators haven't released what it says.
It didn't look like it was something that was hastily put together at the last minute. But as to which individual pulled that will out or placed that there for people to find, we don't know. We don't know if we're ever going to know the answer on that question.
The Attorney General's office is waiting for the toxicology results to come back before releasing any more information. Reporting live in Hooksett, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. First recreational pot shops in Massachusetts will open on Tuesday. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Really excited for that opening day.
Opening day is getting close at Cultivate in Leicester, the state's first retail recreational marijuana dispensary. Naturally, one of the most frequently asked questions is, when is the exact date when retail sales will begin?
I can say we are very close. It should be soon, but we don't have that exact date yet.
We're birthing an industry from scratch here. We've taken an illicit activity, we're trying to bring it into the regulated environment, regulated marketplace. That takes time to do it right, and so we are now on the precipice of that very first retail sale.
From edibles to flower, the menu is nearly complete.
We're going to have roughly around 15 strains to start.
Cultivate is getting ready for day one. They have this tent set up here in case there's an overflow crowd because only 40 people will be allowed in at any given time. Let's take you inside and show you what to expect. You go through the double doors here. One line will be for medical marijuana, another line for recreational sales. Sam Barber, the CEO and founder of Cultivate, says the dispensary is not only a point of sale, but, perhaps more importantly, a place where customers can be educated about the plant that is at the root of one of the state's newest industries.
I've seen this product help so many people. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for, the state between jobs and the tax revenue that it's going to create. Overall, I see this as a big win for everybody.
Todd Kiskiewicz, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Multiple crashes close part of I-93 in Windham for an hour. A portion of Interstate 93 south in Windham was closed for about an hour Friday night after several crashes, officials said. The crashes near Exit 3 were attributed to icy conditions on the roadway, state police said. The road was reopened about 10:20 p.m. It wasn't immediately clear how many vehicles were involved or if there were any injuries. But here is a photo from the scene. Take a look. As you can see, the fire truck's there, and it was closed for an hour on Friday night. Granite Staters clear snow after first widespread storm of the season. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
Dr. Robert Marshall and the team at Aesthetic Dental Center are proud to offer Invisalign, the popular clear alternative.
It's a view worthy of a postcard, fresh snow blanketing a quiet New Boston farm. Closer to town, you'll find plenty of people who don't mind a little noise and a little work to clear a path. Proud veteran Paul Robert is in his 70s. He says he's been living in New Boston for a long time and has no problems with the first significant snowfall of the season.
I like it either way. I don't care.
You don't mind the snow.
I'm a veteran. I just do what I do best.
Schools had a 2-hour delay, but by the afternoon, getting around New Boston on the main roads was effortless. Crews worked non-stop to get them in pristine condition.
I think the Public Works has done a good job, along with the state and everybody. For the first snowstorm, I think it's all fared pretty good. Only a 2-hour delay, could have been canceled, but we all pulled it together.
But for some who work a plow, the early morning snow made for a tough schedule. Okay, how has your day been so far?
Long. It's been a long day.
Some of the side roads are a little sloppy, but for a mail carrier with his own personal off-road Jeep, it's no problem.
I had to order it from North Carolina because it's the last right-hand drive Jeep. It's the right tool for the right job.
And that was a pretty sweet ride. As you can tell, overall, New Boston made it through the first significant snowfall pretty well. In New Boston, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Somalia immigrant released after being detained for 9 months at New Hampshire jail. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
Dr. Robert Marshall and the team at Aesthetic Dental Center are proud to offer Invisalign, the popular clear alternative.
45-year-old Abdegani Hussein is free from the Strafford County Jail in Dover after a federal judge ruled his detention violated his right to due process. After 9 months, he's back home in Maine.
Mr. Hussein has been reunited with his wife and children who are American citizens and is back at home.
The ACLU says Hussein entered the country lawfully in 1996 as a Somali refugee and was granted permanent registered status. That in 2002 he was convicted of possessing a stimulant grown in East Africa that is illegal in the U.S. He was sentenced to 1-year probation. When checking in with ICE in March, he was detained.
He was held for about 9 months without an opportunity to prove that he was neither a danger to the community nor a flight risk. Due process means that he has an opportunity to challenge his detention, and the judge agreed with us.
Hussein was granted a hearing, then released by an immigration judge. ACLU attorneys say under recent changes in immigration laws, his deportation is now pending, but right now he's free to work on his next legal battle.
That's why we created the New Hampshire Immigrants' Rights Project, because it's so important to fight for the rights of due process.
And tonight the ACLU tells us Mr. Hussein wants to stay with his family and will fight deportation in court. Live in studio, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. U.S. intern says Saudi Prince ordered Khashoggi's killing, officials say. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Can't agree on a traditional coffee maker versus a single serve? Steer clear of a showdown with the Cuisinart Coffee Center and have the best of both worlds, all with one appliance. The single-serve brewer uses our home barista reusable filter cup or any variety K-cup with 3 cup sizes and instant heat up. The programmable 12-cup brewer lets you enjoy premium features like adjustable brew strength, auto on and off, and brew pause. The Cuisinart Coffee Center. When it comes to coffee makers, you can have it all.
Mistakes happen. Sometimes people abuse their authority. Sometimes people exceed their authority.
Mistakes happen. That's the official word from Saudi Arabia's foreign minister explaining the murder of Washington Post writer Jamal Khashoggi. In a press conference today, Saudi officials claimed an unnamed man ordered the operation, but they insist that the unnamed man is not the Saudi crown prince, and the deputy public prosecutor says they will be seeking the death penalty for 5 of the 11 people they have indicted. The Saudi story has been a moving target. First, they insisted Khashoggi left the consulate alive. Now they say a 15-member team comprised of negotiators, intelligence, and logistic officials flew to Turkey to try and persuade him to return to the kingdom. Then they claim the head of negotiations saw Khashoggi wouldn't return, and they decided in the moment to kill him, administering a lethal injection and dismembering his body, though the whereabouts of his remains are still a mystery. This latest story is being met with continued skepticism by Turkey's foreign minister, who says the most recent explanation is not, quote, satisfactory. He questions how Khashoggi could have been killed in the moment, but the Saudi team had all the necessary materials to execute him, dismember, and dispose of his body. Here in Washington, the U.S. State Department said that they would continue to work with other nations on this investigation, and the U.S. Treasury Department announced sanctions on 17 Saudi individuals. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.